The reason I wrote the book Sticky Church is I have sensed for a long time that there's just way too much attention on the front door. And I don't believe we can fulfill the Great Commission if all of our focus is on the front door. It has a front half and it has a second half. So the Sticky Church is a plea to slam the back door shut, not so we can grow massive churches or not release people to ministry, but so that we can keep them long enough to fulfill the second half of the Great Commission. Bring them up in the full nurture and admonition and instruction of the Lord. One of the ways that I hope Sticky Church will be used, actually there's two ways. One is with leadership teams and pastors to take this book, look through these principles and ask themselves, how sticky are we really? Because so often we focus on attendance, and as long as that front door is a little bit bigger than the back door, we think we're growing, and we're not even aware of the back door until it either gets larger than the front door, or we've blown off the whole side of the church, the front door can't get any bigger, and the two front and back are equal and we stop growing. And so I hope this will start the discussion of what's going on in the back door so much earlier. Because once people, leadership teams, staff teams, maybe boards and pastors, put the lens on of how we're doing in our retention rates and our stickiness, and they start asking that question, I think they'll see a whole lot of things where little bits of mid-course correction can help a great church become that much more effective in its ministry. And then the other part is the back part of the book where we talk about one model, and it is just one model for making a church sticky. There are other ways to do it, but it's a model of sermon-based small groups. The lecture lab model that North Coast Church has used now for well over 20 years. It's scaled from when we were a church of 180 to now today as we're talking nearly 8,000 on a weekend, and we've been able to maintain 80% of our adults involved in these groups during those decades and that kind of scalable growth. So it's a really pretty simple organic model. I call it Youth Ministry 101. You teach and you discuss it and get in the Bible. But I'm hoping that many more churches across the country, as we've already seen before we wrote the book and since it was written, will be able to pick up this model and figure out how they can adapt it for their own unique situation and give it a run.